3, 4. That was the tune God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. The first time I played it in 4/4 timing, and the second time I played it 6/8 timing, just for fun really. The first one was played in the key of F, and the second one was played in the key of G. Now the subject behind this lesson is actually the key of F, but I just thought it would be a little bit of fun to give you the same tune played as a jig. This lesson concentrates on the key of F, which has one flat, and it's B flat. So if you find the F on the D string, which is the second note in, the F natural, okay, and then move on to the G, and then move on to the open A string, the very first note in, directly above the nut of the fingerboard, is that one, which is the B flat. Moving on, we've got the C natural, then the D, now the open E, then the F natural again. Now you can go down as well. That's the E, D, C, B, A, G, and if we could go one lower, we'd reach the F, of course. So that's the scale of F. So the tune that we're going to play, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, it seems quite topical at this time of the year, of course, given that it's December, and this is a beautiful melody. So God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Now you can print out the notation or download it as a PDF from the community section, because I've put this worksheet there for you to use. And I've written out the notation. So looking at the first version, which is the one in the key of F, I thought the best thing to do was just play through it slowly. There may be something there that you're not familiar with, but it's a pretty basic tune, because actually most of the notes are crotchets. There's a couple of minims, and there's a 1.5 timing at the end. The most unusual thing about this tune is it has an unusual number of bars or measures. It doesn't conform to the standard 32 bars that many tunes do. So that's the unusual thing. Anyway, this is the tune, starting on the G string with my first finger. There's a pickup note, which is rather nice, and then on to the D, A, That's the A section played twice because of course we had the repeat at the end of the final measure, the fourth measure. There were two dots telling us to repeat what we'd already played, including the pickup note. Then moving on to the B section, there are no repeats on this, and it's an unusual amount of measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's very unusual. So it starts with a pickup note on the A string. Now we hit this B flat. Now the only thing that you might find is intonation on the A string. Because of course we're used to playing natural notes on the A string and not the flat. And the B flat is in an odd position really, so it's a bit of a different stretch for your fingers to memorise. So it may be worth just doing that a few times to get the hang of things. To try and get the intonation, the notes in the correct place. We can worry about getting them in the correct order later. But anyway, I'll play it through again slowly. 3, 4. And the double stops just merely holding down the first note on the G string, that's the A, and playing the open D simultaneously. Just a nice way to finish. If you're a classical violin player, this tune will be great for you because you can practice or play your vibrato and do the nice long bow strokes, which are so perfect from the classical style. If you're a fiddle player, it's quite tricky to get those long bow strokes, but it's definitely worth practicing because you may be asked to play this tune perhaps in a church or something like that. So it is definitely worth trying to get the notes sounding nice and even. Nice long bows. It's worth practicing. Moving on, I thought it might be quite fun actually, because it may be that over the Christmas period, maybe not necessarily this year, but maybe next year, you may be asked to play outside or busk or whatever. And there is an alternative version to this tune, of course, and that's the one I've noted out. I just thought it would be quite good fun to see if it would work, and yes it did. When I laid the notation out on my editor on the computer, and I use ABC language, which I find to be the quickest way to write musical notation, I found it just dropped into place perfectly. So this is the version played in 6/8, which is like a jig, That's the version played as a jig. I've put some grace notes in, of course, because I keep bringing that point across in these lessons, how useful it is to include a few grace notes if you can. And there's a slide also in this tune. In fact, the slide is in measure 4 at the beginning, and the grace notes, I've discussed these before. What I generally tend to do with my grace notes is I put my finger down, say on the note B on the A string, and because I'm playing in the scale of G, I'm now actually playing a B natural, and all I do is just flick my middle finger on and off the note above. That's a C. So to help you get this this bounce and rhythm correct, I thought the best thing to do was remember what I did in the last lesson when I talked about this staccato notes. So you need to perhaps tighten the bow a little, because we're going to try and bounce our way through this tune in a sort of staccato type of style. 3, 4. Okay, sounds a bit funny, I know, but it does give you the idea of the rhythm and how to get a bit of bounce going on this tune, because let's face it, this tune is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Well, I call this version God Rest and Celebrate Ye Merry Gentlemen, because it's meant to sound lively. So I'll play it a little slower if I can. 3, 4. Double stop is just merely middle finger on the second note of the G string, which is the A, and then first finger is held on the first note of the D string, which is the E. Gives us that rather lovely chord. So 3, 4. It's a fun tune when it's played that way. The opportunity is there to play this tune in a more serious fashion, as I've no doubt it was originally intended. I think it originated in London, this tune, in about the 18th century at some stage. It was probably sung by carol singers, and in that sort of more relaxed 4/4 timing. But of course we can jazz it up a little in our own way, because this is fiddle music. Yes. It's just the kind of thing. Actually, I did some work for a film company. The man who invented Christmas, and I had to record some tunes that sounded as though they were going to be played in the background. I think this might have been one of them I chose, or I might have written something very similar. But it had that same kind of feel, and it fitted beautifully into the Dickensian backdrop of this film, so that was rather nice. But anyway, that's an aside. I hope you find this useful. I've tried to indicate everything on that sheet music notation there that I've just played. All I can say really is give it a try, have a go. You've got plenty of time, hopefully, over Christmas holiday. You can drive everybody mad by playing the same tune over and over, or perhaps we'll come up with one or two more before Christmas. But anyway, I hope that was enjoyable and fun, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.